Good afternoon and welcome to Paranormal Weekly. Today I'll be looking at the James Leanger case, a boy who believed he was a reborn American fighter pilot who died in a plane crash in World War II. As our usual weekly feature, we will do a quick poll, do you believe in reincarnation, which is a phenomenon that the human spirit survives death and is reborn into another body. So everyone can vote now, we should get the results any second. Okay, so 80% of the audience currently believe in reincarnation. Let's have a quick look at the home video sent in by James's mum, where James and his mum speaks about the details of the past life experiences James has had.
So it all started just before James's second birthday. I think he was about 22 months old, and his father took him to a flight museum, and he got really fixated on the World War II planes, especially the Corsair. Before he even saw the Corsair, before we even knew it was there, James was instead, I want to go see a Corsair. I want to see it. And we didn't really know how he knew that they even existed because we didn't. And then after the visit, I was playing with James and his toy airplanes, and I mentioned a bomb underneath a plane, and he instantly corrected me and was like, no, that's a drop tank. So we then decided to research it to see if he was right about that, because he was about the Corsair. And he was, and that just completely baffled us that he knew about that as well when we didn't. And then shortly after his second birthday, he started getting really frequent nightmares. I think they were about 5 times a week or so.
Yeah, I recall having really vivid nightmares about an airplane crashing, which I was trapped and couldn't get out. A lot of the time, I even woke up screaming, airplane crash, plane on fire, little man can't get out.
And then he later told me that that little man was actually himself and that the plane was shot down by the Japanese. And he insisted that he flew a Corsair from a boat called the Natoma. And he also then told me that he had a friend who was also called James Larson, who was shot down near Iwo. And it seemed really odd to us that when he had his most vivid nightmares, it was on the anniversary of James Houston's death, and he believed that he was James Houston. He kept telling us over and over that he was James Houston, and the most vivid nightmares we then found out were on the anniversary of his death.
These are some of my old drawings of a plane crashing and bombs going off, where I used to pretend to crash the tow planes, and I also used to buckle myself into the back of the car. And I also remember visiting the place of the crash, throwing a bouquet of flowers into the sea.
And then after we decided to take him to the place of the crash, his nightmares and drawings became less extreme, and that we actually believe he had a spiritual release almost. But we really hope that his case and his experiences have opened the eyes on the notion of reincarnation, because anybody can experience this. Considering his age, anybody can experience it.
With me today are Emily, who is a skeptic, and Sally and Natalia, who are believers. In the video it mentioned that James paid a visit to the flight museum, after which he constantly mentioned a Corsair. Emily, as a skeptic, what is your opinion of this?
Well, I think a fantasy has been nurtured, even though the museum does in fact display a Corsair, so this could have prompted James's memories and for him to mention it.
On the other hand, after I've contacted the museum, they've informed me that no Corsairs were actually on display at the time of James's visit. Therefore, it could have not acted as a cue to trigger this fantasy. And James mentioning the Corsair from his own knowledge. So it is unusual that a young boy would know the exact name of a World War II plane.
It is worth noting, however, that the plane Houston was shot down on was in fact a Wildcat and not a Corsair. This is a clear fault in memory and could suggest confabulation. Natalia, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, witnesses have stated that they saw a Corsair being shot down and crashing, which confirms James's idea of this. Furthermore, when speaking to Houston's sister, Anne, she further supported this by presenting us with photographic proof of Houston in front of a Corsair.
So it is evident that James's knowledge about the family was very detailed. Emily, do you have a suggestion as to how James knew all this?
Well, I think it is appropriate to suggest cryptoamnesia as an explanation for this. So James could have simply acquired this information through normal means such as the media, or being led by his parents, or from leading questions by Anne.
We have actually got Anne on the line who's willing to speak to us about her experience of meeting James. Hello, Anne.
Hello, Rachel.
Anne, could you tell us how you feel about James's case after speaking to him?
I'm very convinced that he is my brother reborn based on the amount of detail he went into, especially about the family's personal information, such as our father's alcoholism and the painting our mother drew of me as a child.
Thank you, Anne.
Anne stated, though, that no one could have known about these family issues, suggesting that no media even knew about them. As such, James could not have possibly picked up on this information from the media or nobody else, which further supports the idea that reincarnation is a chance of him picking those two specific pieces of information and them getting them correct is just too slim.
Thank you. So, Emily, is there any other explanation that could explain this?
I think we all should remember that it could be a simple case of fraud. The family were clearly self-deceived about what was going on with James, and there was a fascination with mysterious things in the family as well. They could have built up a fantasy with James and engaged him with it. They could have also done it to gain, media attention, as they also have a book out being sold right now. So it's just to make more money for themselves.
However, the amount of people involved in this case and the time it took to develop the case makes it less likely to be fraud. There is also a great deal of witnesses, such as veterans and eyewitnesses, which are legitimate witnesses.
Thank you guys, it's been a great debate. We will now do another poll and see if any of the opinions on reincarnation have changed. So the results show that 65% of people now do believe in reincarnation. This is obviously more than half of the people have changed their opinions after seeing the case study. Personally, I believe that James was reincarnated due to the amount of solid evidence in favour of his viewpoint. Once again, thank you, and we'll be back next week with another topic for discussion. If you, the public, have any more opinions about reincarnation, use the hashtag Paranormal Weekly Reincarnation on Twitter. Bye, good night.